Welcome back to another episode of the We Love Gaming podcast. I'm your co-host Godly Sovereign, and of course, I have my brother with me, Sir Knight. What's good, my man? How you doing?
I'm doing good, dude. Like, can't complain. I'm on summer break, off work. My B
Yeah,
day's tomorrow,
I know,
so it's
man.
just
Happy
like,
early birthday, bruh.
yeah, man, getting old, man, getting
Yeah,
old.
man, you hitting up there. I think
We're only the same age for for about
for
six
like a
more
couple
hours, man.
months.
Yeah, 6 more hours, dude. And then I leave you, man.
Yeah, I know, right? Man, that's crazy. So, you got any plans
Yeah,
this weekend?
dude. Probably just like dinner with the family.
Okay.
My wife and I we went out last night for dinner thing. My birthday went to like this really nice steakhouse.
Hmm.
So that was really good. That was pretty fun.
Okay.
So yeah, just enjoying the time. Passed my last credential test as well. So that's like was super
Nice.
super awesome.
Congrats,
So
man.
that was cool, dude. So yeah, just been chilling, moving along, enjoying the time off.
Okay. What
Definitely.
games you been playing?
Yeah, so I've played a couple games this week. Like so the majority of my week I was playing Triangle Strategy for the Nintendo
Triangles.
Switch.
Okay. Is
So
that any good?
it's like that 2D 3D kind of thing the way Octopath Traveler was.
Mm-hmm.
So it's by Square Enix as well. So Square Enix did Octopath Traveler. So it's almost like the exact same artwork, like almost the exact same thing.
Okay.
Looks like identical to Octopath Traveler, except Octopath Traveler is like an RPG turn based where like you battle and you pick your abilities and like you take a turn. This is real. This is a tactical strategy game like Advance Wars. So you have the squares and you move your units on the squares, or like Fire Emblem.
Mm-hmm. Right,
So
right,
I
right.
played the majority of my week. I was playing that, and there's some interesting things here to mention. Like first thing I'll say is I always complain about wordy games, and
Yeah.
this game is like wordy on another level. But
Damn.
but it's wordy in the way that you don't mind. You, as in Godly Sovereign, you
Mm.
always complain about wordy games not being voice acted. This
Yeah.
entire game is voice acted.
Okay.
So all the wordy scenes are all voice acted.
All right. That's not
So
too
you
bad.
probably wouldn't be bothered by it too much. And I was a little bothered by it at first
Mm-hmm.
because you pressing A for like 15 minutes. I'm not kidding. Like 15 minutes long. You're pressing A,
Yeah.
dude.
Trying to skip all that long ass shit.
Yes. However, there is an actual auto play. So once I saw that, I was like, there's got to be a way. So I was looking at the controls
So you can hit
and
it so that it'll
you
just
hit auto
go as
play
soon as they
and you can just
talk.
put the control down and just kind of like chill and kind of like watching anime. You're just
Okay.
kind of like watching it. It's all acting, all the stuff's happening, all the
Yeah.
voice acting's playing. And when I figured that out, I wasn't really too bothered by it. I was kind of like, this is perfectly fine. I can handle this. Like it's fully voice acted. You're just kind of sitting there chilling, watching it all unfold. You don't have to keep pressing A. It's so frustrating to
Yeah.
do that. It just plays for you. And then you get your battle sequence. And the battle sequence is like really cool. They have a few things on the real time strategy that I wish other RTSs do. And I have a little bit of like a knowledge behind it now because I was playing Floppy Nights for last week. And now Floppy Nights is a tactical
Turn
strategy
based.
game as well. Yeah, turn based strategy
Right.
game as well. And you know how I was telling you, like you said that you were like move a character in Floppy Night and you would put him in range of attack, and then they would just all of a sudden he'd get bombarded and attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And I was telling you how like yeah, but you got to like go with the other characters and like press Y and it shows you their range or whatever, and you
Right.
got to
Right.
kind of do that for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, yeah, I know, like you're kind of skipping steps.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, this one's really cool. Like I've always like not mind. I didn't mind doing that because it's kind of like just the nature of real time strategy games where you
Yeah.
have to cursor over the unit and select them and see where they attack. That's just kind of like the nature of the game, just to kind of like, so you can be tactical, try to
Right.
avoid their range and stuff, yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that how that gameplay is, but this one's dope, dude. Like when you start and your character, it's your unit's turn.
Mm-hmm.
It has pink squares and blue squares. And the blue squares are squares that if you put your character there, no one can attack him. He's
Oh.
out of range
Okay.
of everybody. So you don't even have to bother to click on all the enemy units to see where they attack and then move your guy. Like the game is telling you exactly
They'll
what
tell you exactly where
square,
the vulnerable spots
yeah,
are. The
what
invulnerable.
square is safe versus not safe. Then
Okay.
all the pink squares are squares you'll be attacked by, but it
Mhm.
goes one step further. It'll have these little red lines going to you. So like if I move it onto a pink square,
They'll tell you who's coming to you.
there'll be like 3 red lines attached to it, to my unit. And if I
Mhm.
follow those lines back, it'll say exactly which units on the other team can attack me on that
Right.
specific
Okay.
square.
Yeah,
That's
so that
dope.
one's giving you the whole lay of the land so that you know exactly what you're getting into, like off top. So
Yeah, you
it
just
makes
like
the
you
tactical a
cursor
little bit more easier to do.
accessible. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like you're definitely like, so you might move forward onto one square. It's like, you know what? I'm willing to move here. It's a red square, but only one other dude can attack me. So
Right.
I don't mind taking that hit.
Yeah, I'll take
But
that
if I
hit. And
move a
then,
little forward and now 3 lines are on me, it's like, nah, that's too much heat. Like
yeah.
it's just so much easier. It's not even like it's because I mean anyone who's really trying to win a tactical strategy game like this is going to be
Mhm.
checking every unit. It's
Yeah.
just saving you that time. It's just like really, really so much,
It's making it
it's
convenient.
it's that quality of life, addition that I'm gonna be like spoiled now. It's gonna be like, dang, dude, I gotta go click on every single unit and see their range. I wish it was just like triangle strategy. I'm gonna always
Yeah.
say that now. I'm gonna say I
Right,
just
right,
wish
right.
it was like triangle strategy, where it just tells me what square I'm vulnerable on and what units can hit me on that square. Like, why won't more games like give you that option? And so
Yeah.
because of that, like I'm a really big fan of this triangle strategy. Like I'm not kidding. Like I can definitely see myself wanting to finish it all the way through
Yeah.
to the end because I just enjoy it. And it's like I said, perfect right now. I'm at home alone. My wife's working, and just have me and my daughter, and being able to do like turn based where I can play with one hand. Especially this game because it tells me the squares. So like I don't have to go over on each unit and like see where they can attack. It's even
Right.
more streamlined for someone like me who's just trying to chill and play. It's like, dude, this is like so awesome. Like I
And you're
tried
playing that.
playing
What are you playing it on? What system?
Switch. It's only available on Switch.
All right.
It's only playable on Switch. Another thing too I wanted to mention, um, I decided to play on my wife's Switch. So I have a Switch Lite. My
Uh-huh.
wife has a regular Switch.
The OG.
And so the OG.
Yeah.
And she almost never plays it. Like very, very rare. Like once every handful of months she'll hop on and play it.
Yeah. Kind of
Um
like me. You
yeah,
just don't have like that many games or whatever for it.
she just
So
doesn't, and there's only like a select few that she likes, and so she's not really playing very often. However, I was like, she's not home. It's just sitting there collecting dust. Like, let me
mhm.
see what it's like playing a Switch on the big screen. So I plugged it into the television, and I just enjoy. I'm just learning that I just enjoy playing games on the full big
On the
screen,
TV. Yeah.
like just better.
Yeah.
Like some games work really well on handheld. Like Pokemon works great in handheld.
Hmm.
Some games just work better. But like when I played Hyrule Warrior, remember when I
Yeah.
got that? It was like the
Right. That
you
big old
know
hack and slash thing.
Samurai, yeah, as the hack and slash one. That was kind of not enjoyable on that tiny screen, but like I bet you it'd be much more enjoyable on a big full screen where you get to see all the enemies, all your attacks are nice and bright and blasting your nice colors on your TV set. Like
Yeah.
I just think like some games are just better, like more designed to be played on a big screen versus a tiny screen. And I've been finding myself enjoying Triangle Strategy much more playing it on the full size screen. I get to see the lay of the land so much easier. It's prettier, a little bit more, high. It's a little bit better resolution. It's just I don't know, man. I really like. I'm like thinking to myself, it's like, dang, I might want to go back, and try to play some of these Switch games that I never got around to playing, but play
Mhm.
them on the big screen, and I might find like a newfound like appreciation for them that I didn't have or have much interest in playing before. Um,
Did you
on my
purchase
little Switch
Triangle
Lite.
digital or physical?
No, I bought it physical copy.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
So you would just be able to play the games that you actually bought physically on your
Yeah,
wife's
I
Switch.
can't play any digital games.
Yeah.
I guess I don't. I have the same account. My wife and I use my one account, so I might be able
Mhm.
to go into like my library and download some of the games. But any saves I had wouldn't carry over, right? So like,
Right, right,
if I
right.
play Triangle Strategy on my wife's Switch, I'm not going to be able to switch to my Switch when I go to bed or whatever,
Yeah.
and play on my Switch because it'd just be a whole new game. But I don't know. I just wanted to mention that like I found a little more of a newfound appreciation for the Switch playing it like as an actual console, like on your
On
television.
TV. Yeah,
And
for
so
sure.
like I really did enjoy that quite a bit, bro. And like Triangle Strategy is really cool. If you like, these turn-based tactical advanced wars like Fire Emblem, like strategy games,
Mhm.
XCOM or whatever, then
Yeah.
I think you'd really, really like Triangle Strategy. Just make sure you hit the autoplay so you're not pressing, else you'll get really annoyed by how wordy it is. It's one of the most wordy games I've ever played, ever. But
Yeah.
it's not too bad when you autoplay it because like it moves along really quick. Like when I was pressing A, I would get distracted, right? Like my daughter might go grab something. I got to go, grab it from her. And if I'm
Yeah.
not pressing A, it's not
It's
continuing.
just gonna stay there.
So
Yeah.
it's just going to stay there. So I end up taking like 40 minutes. So like a
Right.
10, 15-minute cutscene would be 40 minutes, right? Because I was in and out of it. But with the autoplay, I can listen while I'm helping my daughter out or whatever. I can just listen, I can watch it, and I'm getting most of it. And
Mhm.
it's auto playing. Like it just was so much. I was so appreciative that they added that feature into
Yeah.
the game. And then also just the quality of life and how it plays. The actual strategy is so much fun. Like, so I really recommend that, man. I really, really highly recommend Triangle Strategy for the Switch.
Yeah.
And then the other game, of course, I was playing Diablo Immortals.
Oh
So I
yeah.
was playing Diablo Immortals. Did you play any
Okay.
of that? Did you play any Diablo Immortals?
So I got the chat text from Mark and you guys, and so I chose the Necromancer, but I haven't sat down and actually played any of it yet. I had downloaded it for my phone, and then I was like, you know what, this is probably better to play on the tablet, so that I can hook my controller up to it and shit and have a bigger screen.
Totally.
So I downloaded it for the tablet and I just didn't get around to playing it yet. I was playing some other things and whatnot. So yeah, I didn't get around to it. But what did you think of it?
Yeah.
So
So yeah, I wasn't interested until I did research and I found that it has full controller support, 100%.
nice.
Like in the moment you turn that controller on, it detects and immediately switches. It's so seamless.
Mm,
Like you don't have to do any like setting issues, like click
right.
setting it. It just automatically switches, and
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
really
I was
cool,
looking for the controller setting and I didn't see that, so that's good to know.
dude.
'Cause
Literally, yeah, bro, it's
how can
dope.
I switch to
You
it if
just
I just try
literally
with
turn your
a
controller
touch?
on, man. It's
Okay.
sick because you have an iPad M1 too. And so
Right.
basically it's just like, and it's actually kind of cool because you can switch between the two on the tablet, bro. Like I'll be playing the game with my controller, but
Mhm.
when I want to open my inventory, I tap the screen, tap, 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 and I'm out. Like it's
Mm,
almost like computer. You know how
okay.
like that's always like one of our biggest complaints, like with the controller, how like you have
Mhm.
to like move the
Yeah,
cursor,
you gotta
you know,
drag it
like you
over.
were talking about with that 7 days or whatever, how like it wasn't optimized at all
I
for
think
the
it was
controller.
I think that was like Rift Breaker or something like that. It really wasn't optimized for the
Or the
controller.
one you were playing with your father-in-law, you told me like last week, where like you had to drag the controller all the way across the map to like
That one had it on there
extend it.
too.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know you were pissed off with that game by 100%, but
Yeah.
there wasn't really any bright lights for that game. But that was just one of the things how like a lot of games aren't
Mhm.
optimized for their controller.
Right.
Like they have controller support, but clearly they took no time to optimize this thing for the
Yeah,
controller.
you should have just changed the way that the game played, or at least in the menu. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It
Well,
should
dude,
have been
this
with an icon like
but
that.
dude, with this game with Immortals, bro, like it's not like it locks you out of it. Like once you to the controller, you still have complete access. You can play with your fingers still. Like so, all I would do is like I would tap my inventory bag, and like if I had things to sell, you just tap 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 tap. Tap. Like it's so much faster than
Mhm.
joystick. I think it might even be faster than the mouse because you're just
Yeah.
tapping with your finger, dude, and
Right.
like
Right.
you're just knocking it all out. I'm like, dude, this is so much better because like that was one of the disconnects, bro. Right for Diablo 3 versus the
Mhm.
PC, we played both and we always wanted to play on the console, but the console's always clunky because clearly, like this game was meant to be played on the PC, right? Like you're
Yeah.
meant to drag and click and for like upgrades and your inventory, you're meant to do that. And with
Mhm.
the controller, it was just so much slower using the joystick. It's like using like one finger for everything, and it's
Right.
just like really annoying. Well, this dude, like you have access to all your hands, you just tap and you're doing everything. You get like best of both worlds. You get like that PC, accessibility to like be quick on clicking everything, even
Mhm.
your map and like everything. And you get the convenience of using a controller for the game, making it simple to play. So like that really like was like really neat to me. A couple other things too, man. Like it really made me think about Diablo 3 and just how awesome that game was because
It was a great game.
dude, think about it, man. Like when you think about when you think about ARPGs, action role playing games, you know, you think about like that. You might think about like I don't know, Dungeons and Dragons, Path of Exiles, right? Like
Hmm.
Diablo was always really good, but Diablo 3, in my opinion, like they just almost perfected that. I don't see how anyone can make it better. Like it's so well done. Like the explosions, the powers, the feel of it is so incredibly awesome that how do you really go to a Diablo 4? Like how is it going to be that much different? And like I feel like they did Diablo 3 so stinking well that it's almost like you can't one up it. And so it just feels like a Diablo 3. Like Diablo Immortal just feels like Diablo 3, but you have some new abilities. It's a new storyline,
Hmm.
new things to collect, but you can't deny it's good because it's basically Diablo 3. And Diablo 3 is like such a pinnacle of action RPG quality that you almost can't deny it. But it at the same time, it feels old, right? Because like I feel like I've played this 100 times,
Yeah.
but what else can they do? It's like this is what an ARPG is. This is just what it is. Like
And they kind
you
of got
walk
one of those if
around.
it ain't broke, don't fix it type shit.
Yeah, I
You know
mean,
what I'm
like
saying?
exactly.
Like,
Like what can you really
why do
do?
you why
You have
especially for the phone, right? This makes it way more simple, just change a couple of maps, maybe add one or two characters that you've already had in development for the other game or something like that, and then just put it out there for the mobile. So it's a lot easier to deal with. You can have more time to try to mess with the bugs and issues and things like that for it being a mobile. Add those
yeah,
touch controls and stuff, and it's simple and it's
yeah, it
it's
is.
free. So it's like, can you really complain like, oh, they use like the
Exactly.
same maps, or
Exactly. Like
they
I
use like
can't
the same attack
complain.
skills or something like that? You know what I mean? Like you can't
Yeah.
complain.
I
You got
feel bad.
you got
Like
Immortal, you got Diablo on your phone. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Mobile, like
Exactly. Like you have Diablo on the tablet. How like the
yeah.
PC, almost the PC version of the game, like on your
Hmm.
freaking tablet with the controller support. I could
Exactly.
never play D3, Diablo 3 that we played on the PS4 on my tablet. Like that
Yeah.
I can play that high quality game. Like we were talking about this a few weeks ago how like I can never understand why they can't release like a high quality AAA level game on the
Hmm.
tablet. They're always like gimmicky tap jump. Like they're just there's no depth to them.
I
I'm
mean,
like, why
you got
can't
a couple, but they're definitely like few and far between. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I just
Yeah.
we were lamenting like how come you can't do this? It's the most profitable platform. The mobile is the most profitable platform for gaming, and yet no one takes the time to make a good one. And I feel like this is that. Like it's a very high quality D3 level game on your tablet. It's
It's a pretty
fully
good
controller
graphics too.
supported. They don't cut any corners here. Like it's the same thing as the freaking PS4 version. Like
Yeah.
they don't cut any corners, right? And like how can I complain? It's fully voice acted. Like it's very well voice acted. It,
Yep.
it's just even though it's so similar but you can't break what's almost perfect, and so it's like I can't complain. I feel bad even trying to dog it because it's so good. It's just D3 on your iPad. What is not to love? Like it's like I said, it's not like a dumbed down version.
Hmm.
Oftentimes these tablet or phone versions are like, slimmed down, like dumbed down variations of like Call of Duty. You got like the dumbed down
Yeah.
version. It's
It's
like
like
doesn't
getting
have
the
as many
Switch version of
features.
a third party game. You know what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
like in a Switch version. This doesn't feel that way,
It's the
bro.
ass version. Yeah.
Like it feels great, and like there's lots of accessibility. I will say it's highly monetized, man. Like
Is it?
not only do they have a freaking battle pass, but
Uh-huh.
then they also have on top of the battle pass a daily boon pass. So you bought like two different passes. Like one
Damn.
pass is your upgrading your battle pass. So you
Hmm.
have the battle pass, the generic one. Like
Right,
all
right, right.
games
The
do
one
that
that'll
now.
give you something, but like
Yeah, for
every 5 or 10 levels or something.
right. But then
Yeah.
you have the battle pass that will give you doper things if you spend the 10 $5 or whatever. And then
Right.
they have another $10 pass that's like a boon, a daily pass, where you
Uh-huh.
get like every time you log in every day, you get like a little boon. It's like,
Damn,
dude, how many
they give those
passes?
away for free on
It's
any
like,
other game.
how many passes do you want me to buy? It's like so dumb. So
Yeah.
like it is heavily monetized, but it does seem like largely cosmetic. Although there is one thing that can make it a little pay to win. One
What?
of them is you can buy the gems, I think the legendary gems, but
Okay.
also you can buy these like crest. They're called a crest. And whenever you, in Diablo 4, Diablo 3, bro, when you opened a rift and
Hmm.
you went into the rift and you just had the hordes of enemies and you killed the final boss and the final boss would drop a legendary gem.
Right.
Well, now, in order to guarantee yourself a legendary gem, you buy a legendary crest and you
Hmm.
pop that before you pop the rift. And then when you go on the rift and complete it, you're guaranteed a legendary gem, right?
Mm.
So it's kind of pay to win. Like you can get it all, but you have to try much harder on free to play, where you
Yeah.
just get yourself the things guaranteed by buying these crests. So like there's a little pay to win aspect to it. It's not purely cosmetic, but it largely is. And then the bottom line is like once again, I have a hard time complaining because it's so much fun to play. Like you'll enjoy playing it even if you aren't paying to win because it's just so
Yeah.
much fun. And
You
you
should you
just
should be able to advance just fine without
you
having
could
to
still
pay money.
advance, like you don't need it. You can still advance in the game. You get to enjoy all the features, all the abilities, all the effects, all the zones. Like everything is available to you. You may not be like number one on the leaderboard because you aren't
No.
paying to winning.
Yeah.
But it's just like I don't know, man. I recommend it to people out there, dude. Like especially if you have a tablet. I agree with you. I agree with you on the phone, bro. Like I don't know if I want to play it on the phone,
Yeah.
but if you have a tablet,
I mean, it works
it's
on the
awesome.
phone, but it's, even, dealing with a pro, you know what I'm saying? It's just not as big, man. It's like, it would be like much more better on like a wider screen. I'm also trying to wonder now, since I can play it on my iPad, if I can possibly figure out a way to get it projected onto my screen. Like if I, because I have an Apple TV in my
Your
room, I'm
television,
wondering
right?
if I
Yeah, I was
can
wondering the
if I
same
can
thing,
like
bro.
get it on my Apple
Mirror it
TV.
somehow,
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Because that
Hmm.
would be really nice to be able to play it on the full TV, just
Yeah,
like everything else, man. That would be super sick. So I'm gonna have to
yeah.
try that with you. I got to get with you sometime, and so we can play it. Maybe tonight or something like that or whatever. Get some
Yeah,
Diablo
I
time.
just joined the server Mark told us to join,
Yeah, the
Decker
Decker
Kane.
Cane. I did that one
Yeah.
too. So
It's a little bit
if
like
any of you
a
guys are playing Diablo Immortal, join the Decker Cane.
yeah, we have to start a little they
Get
call it
together.
like it's some kind of guild thing. It's
Okay.
like an 8, but it's only 8 people. You have 8
Oh,
people
okay.
in the guild. So
Well, we'll
we got to
probably get
create
a
yeah, we got
couple
to
people
create
maybe.
something, bro, like
Yeah.
tonight. And like it's kind of like a little MMO-ish because you see everyone running around in the world too.
Yeah.
Like almost even in like the world when you're fighting things, there's other people. And
Okay,
like
that's cool.
when I entered the first dungeon, it automatically pops up. You can enter by yourself or click to join a group. Like you can
Mm.
click one or the other.
Okay.
So you don't have to like click a button to find a group. You just like immediately click which one you want to do. I just joined as solo, but I could have just clicked find a group and you could go in with the group immediately.
Hmm.
It's really cool, man.
That's cool.
They've made it. I'm really surprised. Like it feels like a high quality AAA game on it for the phone, even though I'd only played on tablet. But I really enjoy it, man. I definitely see myself putting more time into it for sure.
That's what's up.
Definitely,
Yeah, for
definitely.
sure, man. So that was all you had played?
And I did say I tried playing Sniper Elite for a couple hours, but it was so hard with my daughter
Uh,
because that's real time. Like I have to play,
yeah.
and she'll like be pulling up my controller, or she'll be trying to go grab something she shouldn't, and it's just
Yeah.
like really hard, with a little,
Yeah.
8 month
Yeah.
running around. She's almost walking now and like getting into everything, and so it's just very very challenging
Hmm.
to play a game like that. So playing like I said, Triangle Strategy was just like perfect for me.
Right.
Any of those turn-based games are just like really nice. And Diablo 3, I would only really get to play if my wife was home or
Okay. Yeah.
late at
Because that's
night.
like a full on game that you gotta.
It's a full-on game I got to kind of play, but I did squeeze in time when I could, and I enjoyed it, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with you guys when you guys get
That's
on
what's
there.
up. Man.
But what you been playing, man?
Yeah. So, I did get a chance to play some Sniper Elite 5.
Mm.
I played it for a couple of hours. I played it with my father-in-law.
Is it
Because it was just
multiplayer?
something else to play. Yeah, you could do co-op on
Oh
there.
wow.
So, I got in. I literally just did like the first mission, and bruh, man, we got in there, and I had like the game like completely open. So it was like, when you're playing it, you can get invaded. So like
Yes.
a sniper
Kind
Jaeger
of
or
like
whatever
Deathloop.
will come
Yeah.
in, yeah, and he'll try to like kill you. And dude, like you got to deal with him, and then you got to deal with all of the other guys in there, and they seem to flock when you start to create noise. They just all start coming in, dude, and you can get caught up like really quick. But there was like one point where we were playing, and like we decided for some godforsaken reason to like split up, and he went to one area to like destroy a bunker, and I went to another area, and we got invaded. And so then it's like, okay, shit, well, there's like other guys over here, and then he's out there. So it's like, okay, I gotta kind of lay low, maybe possibly pop some dudes off to give myself some room to maneuver and whatnot. And this dude caught my father-in-law, boom, popped him in the head. And so it starts a timer where you've got like 2 minutes to like do something or the game is over, and I don't even know what you can do, like, because he's like dead, so you can't like revive him or anything. And so we got caught in this like perpetual thing where he would kill us, and then it would be like, oh, restart, and so you could choose to like challenge him again. And so I did that one time, and he caught us both again. And then I just restarted it, and then got invaded again. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, I can't play the game if I just keep getting invaded. It's annoying as shit. But it literally was just in a certain part of the game where you just aggro like every fucking person possible to come into your game and try to snipe you or something like that. It's like the last level of Deathloop, where you've got two of the girls that come in. She'll come in, and then
multiples.
the next area she'll come in
Mm-hmm.
again, and it's like, fuck, dude, like this is tough, man. It's like already tough because they put like mad dudes on the level for you, and then you've got this bitch running around hiding, trying to kill you, and it's like, come on, give me a break. You know what I mean? I've got these 2 lives or whatever, but it's rough. So, we played it, but that game is kind of punishing. Like if for any reason you get like logged off because the server drops or anything like that, you end up having to redo the entire mission from like the very beginning. And there's like certain big checkpoints, and if you don't hit it, you have to do the whole shit over again. And they have you doing like a lot of tasks, in between each checkpoint. So that shit was like a pain in the ass, man. I was like, damn, we've done this bitch like 3 times, and having to come back.
Dude, I want to say something to you about that. Like, I kind of agree with you. Like, I don't know if you're feeling this way, but the little bit I was playing of Sniper Elite 5, it was like, I felt like I couldn't shoot my gun, or I was gonna like call the world on me. Dude, and I kept asking myself, bro, what's the point of having all these guns on me and updating them when I feel like I can't use them?
Yeah, if I want to snipe, my shit's too loud, so I'm gonna call people over here to me. If I want to use the SMG,
breaking everyone's neck, like, what's the point of all these guns?
Yeah, I'm over here, like, me and my father-in-law are playing, so he's going like, okay, you take left, I'll take right, I bet. So boom, I'm going over to a dude, he pops off extra shots real quick before I'm ready yet. I'm like, we gotta do it synchronized, you know what I'm saying? So all of a sudden,
he jumped the gun, dude.
Me, yeah, the dude
gets alerted,
turns around, and he starts shooting. I'm like, the fuck? I gotta up the SMG, making mad noise. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, dude, why didn't you tell me you were gonna shoot him? And he was like, well, I mean, I got the silencer, dude. And I'm like, that shit didn't matter to these guys because they heard everything. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn. So there's funny, like certain. It really is almost like you just do what you want, just do what you can, and then just move from that area, and hopefully.
Yeah, I was feeling that way. I went so long, like an hour or longer, without firing a single shot, dude. Because I was like, I feel like I can't. I feel like if I do,
it's like you gotta,
my world's gone.
That shit.
Yeah, my world has exploded, and I just felt that way. And I was like, dude, like, and you have all these guns and you want to use them, but you just feel like you can't. I'm like, darn it. That's just a strange. It's weird. Like, it's like it wants to be Wolfenstein, but it's not, because you get alerted so fast.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It was just, there was something about it that felt decent, but I was just like, I can't use anything. Like, the guns felt pretty good to use. Like, when I did use one, like, it felt mighty. Like I was like, whoa, that was kind of fun, dude. Like it felt powerful.
Yeah,
But then like
especially
I
when you
couldn't
get those like
handle it.
X-ray
Yeah,
scenes
the
of your
X-ray
shots tearing
shots.
through
Yeah,
the face or
yeah. Like
stomach or
it
whatever.
was cool, but at the same time, it was like conflicting because I feel like I have a whole army raining down on me, and I'm a one dude. I don't have very much health. Like you die pretty quick too. Like
Yes.
you don't take
Yes.
very many hits.
You die
It's like
quick.
I don't see how I'm supposed to like get through this 100% stuff without using your guns. But the moment you use your guns, you get screwed. So I
Yeah.
was feeling conflicted, bro, with Sniper Elite 5, like really conflicted with it. There was
Yeah,
some
for
beautiful
sure.
things and some bad things about it.
Yeah, I mean it's not terrible. It's not a terrible game, but I
Yeah.
feel like for you to be the sniper elite, I would feel like the sniper gun, the sniper rifle would be like your most prominent weapon to use,
Yes.
and that it would
Yes.
have all of the tools equipped to be said weapon.
Yes.
But because you don't start off with a sniper, I mean with a silencer on it,
Right.
it's making loud noise regardless of what
Yes.
you do. Your pistol is the only silencer, and then even then it's not quiet enough. The pew pew that you hearing is still loud enough to let motherfuckers know shots is going off, and it's like, well, goddamn, like, come
Yeah, and
on,
they
what is
kill
this?
you quick.
Assassin's Creed, this shit, you know what I mean? Let me
Yeah.
get this guy, you know
If
what
you
I'm
want
saying?
me to be Assassin's Creed, then be Assassin's Creed. If you
Yeah,
want to be Assassin's Creed, be Assassin's Creed. If you want to be Wolfenstein, be Wolfenstein. Like you can't like mix the two. Like it's too unsure of what it wants to be. Let
yeah,
me run and gun or let me silence the whole thing.
and I just think that the maps, the area of your checkpoint is just too large. Like there's
Mm.
so many enemies out there, and there's so many tasks required of you to do that you have to cross so many enemies. And the fact that you shoot and you just alert everything,
The whole
it's too
map.
much. It's
I
too
feel
much
like
to
the
do.
whole map, all the question marks everywhere.
Yeah,
It's like, what the
it
heck,
would be
man?
better if it was like auto saving your shit as you went through and actually auto saved your shit. It's not really doing
Right.
that for you when
That's
you're
true.
going.
That
And
would
the
fix a
only
lot of that
time,
heartache. Yeah.
yeah, and anytime you
Hmm.
have to leave or whatever and come back, like you don't just start exactly where you stopped at. It's like it totally
Right.
booted you out of that mission and you got to redo that
See,
whole
I
mission.
haven't experienced that because for one, I wasn't playing co-op, but for number
Right.
two, I was just quick resuming the whole time. It just
And
kept
it's not
saving.
Yeah, and it's not it don't matter if you're doing co-op or not. That's just how they're gonna fuck you from the get-go. So if for
Mm,
whatever reason, you know what I'm saying, you leave, then you do that. You know what I'm saying? If you die,
right.
all over again. It don't matter if you saved it in the middle of that shit or whatever, it's all over again. The only thing it
Dang.
saves is that major checkpoint that you did. So I got killed plenty of times. So if you get killed, whole thing over again. You know what I'm saying? From spot one. If you want to bring somebody in
That's
to
discouraging,
play,
man.
you know what I'm saying? Start one, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a little rough. Like I said, it is an okay game. So if like I didn't have anything to play, I would play that some more. Um I did, however, decide that I wanted to get back into Cyberpunk 2077.
Mhm.
So I like downloaded the PS5 version of that and then started playing a little bit of it. It's just, I've been going really slow because I gotta like get my bearings on how to
Right.
do everything. And that one
Right.
does have the small cursor that you gotta move over certain items and things like
Yeah.
that. So
Yep.
I gotta get used to maneuvering with that. But that's cool. And then thanks to your deal message last night, by the way, if you guys haven't played Far Cry 6 and you would like to play it, it's $15 just for today only. So
Got like a
that's
couple
today,
hours left,
the
man. So
third,
hurry up.
yeah, over at Best
Yeah.
Buy. So, if anything, just purchase that bitch, let it come in the mail. You know what I'm saying? You got Best Buy credit card, that's what I use. Charge that shit, you know what I mean? And then get it sent to
Yeah,
you or
you're
whatever.
not gonna get a better
I
deal
just
than
went and
that.
picked it up.
Like that's a crazy low price for that game. So
Yeah, for sure. So
um,
I picked up two copies, one for myself and then one for my father-in-law, so that he could play it on his, and then they have co-op. So I don't know how much of the game you can do with co-op, but whatever we can, I'll play with him on that and stuff like that. So that's the only reason why I got it on the Xbox as opposed to the PS5. And there
yeah, I
wasn't
was like,
really
snap, dude.
much
If
of a
if
difference.
if I didn't have Far Cry 6 already, I would have purchased
Right,
it
you would have
too,
got
man.
it.
Like
Yeah, that would have been a
that's
good
such a
price.
good deal, man. Because
Yeah, I checked everywhere just to see if the price matched up anywhere else. And that was the cheapest that I had seen it. So, it was a good deal. Good
there's
find.
supposed
Thanks
to
for
be
that.
another deal tomorrow. Like I think every day until June 5th.
Oh, okay,
They're
so
supposed to
Summer
be
of
like
Games Fest type shit.
There's supposed to be like a hyper deal on 3 games every day until
Mm.
June 5th. So check again tomorrow for 3 more games that are supposed to be killer deals too.
What were the
So
other two hyper deals?
I think it was like the
Today.
FIFA and 2K or something like that was like really. I can't remember what they were, but they were like some. I know there were sports games. I think this
Mad
time.
cheap though. Okay.
But just Far Cry 6, I was like, wow, that's like the brand newest Far Cry. Like that just
Yeah.
came out, end of November last year for
Right.
$15. That's nuts, dude. So I was just like, damn.
Yeah, for sure. And I was contemplating it too because I know that Ubisoft Plus is supposed to be coming to Xbox, but I think it's coming like later this month, like kind of like mid or
I
something
don't
like
know
that.
when it's
I'm not
coming, dude. We
sure.
haven't got any word.
Yeah, so I was like, maybe I should wait, but I tried to check the Ubisoft Plus website to see what games they already had on there, and I didn't see Far Cry 5 on there. I don't think. I
Not
don't think
even
I saw it.
5. I
Well,
enjoyed 5.
actually I might have seen 5, but I didn't see 6 on there. So I'm
Definitely not
figuring
6,
that it
right?
wasn't that option. I thought it would be like EA where you get like that trial, and maybe there's a section where it shows you trials or something like that. But I was like, okay, since I can't see it on there and I don't know exactly when it's supposed to be coming, I'll just get it. You know what I mean? So that I can, play it now and enjoy it or whatever. So, but yeah, man, Far Cry. I don't know if I played. I think I played Far Cry 2. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, but did you play Arachne? Have you played all the Far Cries though to really know if that's your favorite? Or is that the only one you played and so that's your favorite? See, I played all the Far
Dude, three
Cries,
hours
every one
every
of
day
them
is crazy,
from
man.
3. From Far Cry 3 forward, I've
Yeah,
played every one of them.
yeah. I
And
think
so
that's
I
what
can
I
say that
started at. I mean,
3 was my favorite, but actually 5
I thought you said
coupled
5 was your favorite.
coupled with New Dawn is my favorite.
Okay.
So like if New Dawn didn't exist, then I think 3 would still probably be my favorite.
Mm.
But 5 coupled with New Dawn was one of the coolest things they've ever done with the Far Cry series. That I love it. What they did with Far Cry 5 into New Dawn was so cool, like dopest thing. And then 6 is pretty good, but 5 in the New Dawn was just my favorite for sure. But without New Dawn, just 5 on its own was really good, but 3 was my favorite for sure.
Yeah, for sure. So that was pretty much like everything that I had played over the little week or whatnot. So I didn't really get to play too much other stuff. But that's good shit, man. So yeah, we got a few things to talk about today. Some Sonic Frontier gameplay had just released. Of course, we had that interesting state of play that dropped on Thursday, yesterday. And then also some June PS Plus games. So it's chock full of PlayStation info today. But before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and get into that intro. I love you, me. All right, so this is the We Love Gaming Podcast, episode 102, I believe. And let's get into the first topic that we have. You want to share for me, Ray?
Yeah, my bad.
It's all good.
For some reason, I was thinking I was already shared, and here I am just chilling.
All right, so the June PS Plus games of the month, man. And so we have God of War. We also have Naruto Shippuden and or Shinobi Striker, sorry, and Nickelodeon's All-Star Brawl. So first off, when I saw this, I was pretty damn disappointed, man. I was just like, dude, God of War? Like, they gave us that on the PS5 collection. What are they doing? I think everybody has access to that shit now. And then, Shinobi Strikers, that's like a fighter. I mean, if it was more of a story based, I'd be a little bit more enthused. I'm not really a big fan of fighters and whatnot. And then, All-Star Brawl. So we got like a Smash Bros type of game or whatever, from Nickelodeon. And, that one's just kind of like whatever to me. I'm kind of more interested in the multiverse game that's coming out soon. And I was just kind of like, I thought this was kind of like meh to me. But how do you feel about this one?
I think this is worse than meh. I think this is almost like insultingly bad. Like, how can you possibly give God of War again? Like
Yeah.
literally, if you have PS Plus, you have God of War because all you need to do is just have a homie login on their PS5 under your PS Plus name, and you get
Yeah.
to add these games to your collection. So
Right.
everyone should already have God of War. Everyone who has PS Plus. So that's what's crazy. It's because if you have PS Plus already, then you already have access to God of War.
Yeah.
Like that's what's weird. This is not like
So it's
this
like, why are you
is
giving it again?
yeah, it's not like this is like God of War for everyone. If you don't have PS Plus, everyone can play. You're like, okay, well, that's interesting. This is like giving you something you already have, and they're like putting it up front at the very top. Like, this is the big one they're giving you. Like,
Yeah.
what? Like, literally, everyone has this game already. You're giving something away to people that already, like, it's just the biggest insult to me. And then you give us two fighters. So it's like, okay, maybe give us one, but you gave us two fighters.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
okay
what
with
kind of
one.
this is like this is close to nothing. It's like maybe one game because you
Yeah.
don't. I mean, you're gonna play both fighters. You're probably gonna play one of them, and then on top of that, these seem like fighters that probably very few people played. Almost like they Sony got a deal on these because like they didn't sell well and
Yeah.
like gave them out. As like
So I mean,
some cheapo freebies for you.
the All Star Brawl came out in October 5th of 2021. So I mean, it's fairly recent, but it's just like, come on, man.
Yeah, who
Why
bought it
not
though? Like
mix it up a
playing
little
that.
bit? We didn't
Yeah,
need two
this was
fighters. We could have
really.
done one or the other.
When was the last good month we had? I think Persona 5 Strikers like back at the beginning of the year, right? It was like the last good month we've had. It's been like a handful of months, dude, that we've
Probably.
gotten anything decent from PS Plus. Like it's just gone downhill kind of.
Yeah, and Shinobi Striker, that shit came out in 2018. So that bitch mad old. That's
Yeah, these are
pre-COVID,
extra.
bro.
This
Like,
is bargain bin stuff. Like
yeah.
you could probably get God of War used at your local GameStop for like $5, probably, maybe even
Yeah.
cheaper than that.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
this is so bad. This is like Xbox games with gold bad. Like it's about that bad, right? When you see the Xbox game with gold and you're just like
And they giving you
I
360 games and
you're
shit.
just
Like,
face rolling. You're like,
yeah.
what the heck is this?
Yeah, what is this and why?
And like that's what this feels like.
Yeah.
But I'm flabbergasted by this, man. God of War just blows me away
Yeah,
that they would
it's
have the
definitely
gall to give that out as like that's something free.
yeah, it's
And then so
interesting.
I was thinking, oh, maybe they're doing that, because they're gonna show out God of War in this state of play,
Mm.
right? So they got to hype you up and like, look at we're putting this here because we're trying to hint something to you,
But
and
giving it to you
then
twice though?
it falls flat. Yeah, and then that giving to you twice, of course, is ridiculous. But I thought maybe there was like a pseudo reason, like trying to like hype up, Ragnarok in some way, like maybe for like a state of play or something. But
Yeah.
there wasn't that. That didn't exist. So it's just a pure, almost a joke.
Right.
Sony making it funny. Haha, we're giving you something you already have and you can't do nothing about it. Like,
Yeah.
um,
So I mean, it's another consecutive disappointing month for PS Plus. At least for the gamers who have been here for a while. I mean, I'm honestly the two games, the Shinobi Striker and All Star Brawl, are games that I do not have. So they'll be added to my library, but I could give a fuck less. You know what I mean? I was never gonna play them. So, and I
they'll
probably
never
won't
take
play
room
them.
on your hard drive, probably. Yeah.
There's been a lot of games within the last 3 to 4 months from PlayStation Plus that I won't even try. Like I'm just adding them to my library because they're there, but I won't even try them. I did try Tribes of Midgard. Also, I played that one, and I thought that one was okay, but it's not one of those where like I'd want to keep playing often. You know what I mean? Like it can catch your attention for like an hour or two, but that's like maybe out of a month, an hour or two a month. You know what I mean? But this is it's just kind of
Yeah,
a
I
disappointment.
always I always feel like every month there's something dope that I want to play on Game Pass. Like
Yeah.
I just haven't been feeling that way with PS Plus for a long time. And so even though Game Pass like really dropped the ball immensely with the
Mhm.
Starfall delay, like I just feel like it's still such a superior service that like it's not even close, right? So unless PS Plus starts to like get better, this is really really harsh, man. This is really rough. Shinobi, Nickelodeon and then like a game you already own, this is rough, dude. This is really bad. So
Yeah.
all we can do is hope it gets better, I guess. I mean, I don't know, man. Is it, if it continued this way, would you ever consider unsubscribing your PS Plus until all of a
No,
sudden you saw a good month?
I won't unsubscribe from my PS Plus, and the reason why is because of the multiplayer aspect. I can't play
Yeah.
any games with any of my friends if I don't have PS Plus, right? Because they've tied that together now. But um it does, however, keep me from even contemplating wanting to upgrade to the next one.
Yeah.
They'd have to give me a lot more extra to upgrade to that next slot. You know what I mean? So until they do that, it'll just be like, oh, I just stayed here. You know what I mean? I'll figure out how to get those passes for the basic one, and then I'll just stay there. And you know, and maybe eventually,
Right.
if I see something that entices me, you know, I might upgrade to that next one to just get that game, and then the next month I'll reduce it down or something like that. You know.
Yeah, this
And
is stingy
unless
cheap,
they
dude.
have it like where they're able to cap certain games that they give you for like, oh, you have to have that second tier of the extra in order to be able to play it. You know what I mean? Then that's gonna really suck. But if they
Right.
allow you to bump up for like one month or something like that to be able to get a game and then you can reduce, then I'll probably end up doing that quite often. But yeah, so you know, let us know in the comments down below. Do you guys think that this is a good month for PlayStation Plus? I mean, like Brawl, Shinobi, God of War. I mean, you know, especially if you've probably already got God of War or already had access to it for free 99. It was already available. You know what I mean? You know, let us know in the comments, you know, what the deal is with this. How you feel? Moving on to the next topic, man. We got the state of play. And this one was one of those that they kind of mentioned was going to be more emphasis around the PSVR. And, you know, I thought that they were going to probably give us like more PSVR details or something like that, you know, kind of like share some more stuff about it. But they didn't give us anything of that nature, but they did show us some games. And, you know, some of these I was kind of like, I have like mixed feelings, and I'll ask you how you feel about this too, right? Because so like the first couple of games that they mentioned, you know, that you if you play it or whatever, they have Resident Evil. So they're giving you Resident Evil 4, and then they're also giving you Resident Evil Village, Resident Evil 8. And so they're doing this, and they're telling you that there's also a PSVR 2 connection in the works. So on one hand, I'm like, well, damn, why are they showing like why are they even doing anything extra for, you know, Resident Evil? You know what I'm saying? These are good ass games the way they are. Like you could just give us some other stuff, you know? But on the other side, this is kind of like what me and you had talked about months ago, where we said PSVR would continue to fail if they don't figure out how to incorporate this shit with the regular blockbuster games that come out, you know, with these AAA studios, where there's just a game that you bought already that you can play along with the VR. So if this is like a DLC type of edition or something that's extra that's added on, that like, hey, if you have Village, you'll be able to play this game also with your PSVR 2 headset, then this is exactly what we've been looking for. This is a AAA title that they have now added functionality with the PSVR 2. If you have to buy it separate, that's going to suck. You know what I mean?
So
But you're getting a large, you know, production game.
so I think like if I remember right, it's coming up soon, I think.
Yeah.
But I think it says it will have PSVR 2 content.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I interpret that, now first and foremost, man, Resident Evil 4,
It's a great
like
game.
that was a huge reveal. Like we didn't know that this was in the, and they gave us a date already.
Mm-hmm.
3/24/23,
But this is
I
just
believe.
like a remaster, right?
This is a remake, I think. Like this looked, the graphics, this looked like
Wouldn't that be
some
a
of these
remaster
shots
though?
here. Like this looks like a full remake.
Hmm.
That's not just a remaster, right? Like look at this. This looks like Village level graphics for an old like PS like that's like a PS2 game.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 is PS2. So like this is a whole new, man. This is a whole new
But I thought like remake was
experience.
like almost changing the story or like the way you play the game.
A remake see for me
'Cause I
that
thought
would
a
be like a
remaster was
reboot.
just like
That would be a
okay,
reboot to me.
hmm,
So like God of War would be a reboot, not a remake.
okay,
But what was it? Something just came out that was a remake, and it was Demon Souls. So
yeah,
Demon Souls is a remake to me, not a remaster. So you
right,
have
because it played
remaster,
completely different than before.
you have a remaster, a remake, and a reboot. So a
Mhm.
remaster would just be giving you higher resolutions of the same exact game. They didn't do anything to it. That would be a
Okay,
remaster of the game, kind of like Last of Us remastered. Like
uh-huh,
that would just be better resolutions and frame rates. A
right,
remake would be like Demon Souls, where they rebuild the whole game, but it's still the same game.
mhm.
So
And
Demon
that's what you
Souls,
think this is right here,
yeah, I think this
is
is
that they
like a
just
Demon
rebuilt the
Souls.
whole
This is
thing,
like taking the original PS3 Demon Souls and making it for a PS5. So they
uh-huh,
remade the whole thing from the ground up. New
okay,
graphics, new textures, new engine, but the same story, same game. I think
gotcha,
that's what this is. And then
mhm,
you have reboots like God of War, which
right,
are remakes, but also whole new way of playing, like you mentioned. Like the
right,
original God of War, what was it, like 2012 versus like God of War 20, or 2008 versus like God of War 2018 are
right.
like play completely different.
2 different games, yeah,
But they both have the same feel of God of War, but they play like that's a reboot. They just completely rebooted that. This
yeah,
I think is going to be in the middle category, like Demon Souls, which
mm,
is exciting because I never finished Resident Evil 4. So a lot of this will be like really new for me. Like I
mm.
know a lot of people, this is their favorite Resident Evil. I
Yeah,
know
it
my
was my favorite
brother-in-law,
one. I think
Jeremy,
maybe, 8 might have taken the
but
cake for it,
Village
but
is freaking good.
it was
And I
just
heard
good.
Village took a lot from this one.
Oh,
So
yeah?
that excites me because I like Village so much. I
Right.
like Village like quite a bit more than Seven. And Seven's a great game, but
7
Village
is
was
good too,
just
yeah.
so well done. Like I really liked it. Like I wish I had played it last year so I could put it on my top 10. Like that's how much I liked it. If this is like that, then like I am way excited for this game. So this was like a big reveal. Like this alone is kind of cool. Like this reveal alone was like made the show kind of for me.
Yeah.
But back to the PSVR point, if this is like look at that's definitely like brand new graphics. Like that looks like Village to me.
Yeah.
This looks like Village, like right here.
Yeah,
This
no,
looks
it
like
looks
Village.
great. Yeah, for sure.
Like it looks awesome. Anyways, that's kind of an interesting route. So I know we talked about before with the VR. I want it to just be able to play my game. I put my game in and I can choose to play it on my VR if I choose to or
Mhm.
not. And it just enhances my experience.
Yeah.
If they at least have something in there, like you said, that I don't have to pay extra for. Like if I put my Resident Evil 4 game in
Mhm.
and there's a few levels that I can play, or like there's a zone that I can't go into on the regular console version, but I can on the VR
On the
version,
VR,
like
yeah.
a building or something that's
Or
just
like
for
another way
VR
to do
fun,
puzzles or something
then
like
like
that,
that
yeah.
would be cool. Like if it even if it's just locked content to just the VR within the game that you need
Mhm.
a VR2 to access, that would be cool too. Like, okay, now I can put my VR for this portion of the game and play it this way, and then
Yeah,
take it off to keep playing the rest of the game. Right?
right.
Like even if it's just that, I think that would be a nice little that would be a nice way, of like incorporating VR to your PlayStation 5 experience. Now,
Mhm.
if it's a completely like separate game, like, Resident Evil 4 VR, and it's like this little
Yeah.
side campaign that you had to pay for,
Right.
I'm not hip on that. That's a dead in the water to me. Like I would have
Now,
no desire to play that.
I wanna say that Resident Evil 4 was already, with VR, I think. I'm not sure. I think it was.
Yeah, but this remake would have to be updated, like because it's a whole different game,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think we're getting to see the Village stuff because this is definitely, yeah, this seems like definitely this is VR right here. Like you see it's shaky screen because you're looking up.
Yeah.
The VR screen is shaky because it's like
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
on
yeah.
your
You can see it.
head. Your
So
head's the
this
camera.
looks like the regular game. Like you'd be
This was at
playing
the
the
regular
whole entire
game,
game. Yeah.
yeah, in
Be
VR.
nuts. Yeah.
'Cause, like, this looks like VR, yeah, like, which would be a crazy game to play in VR.
Yeah, for
You know, like
sure.
they were really showing this off, this VR stuff here
And
for
yeah,
Village.
Resident Evil 4 is on the Oculus Quest too. So
Yeah,
you
the
can,
original version, right? Not
yeah,
not
yeah,
not
yeah,
this
yeah, yeah,
remake.
yeah, not the
Yeah,
remake, but
yeah.
yeah, the original joint is able to be played in VR. So they were probably able to just port that and then just upgrade the graphics, and it would be its first time on the PlayStation VR. But I mean that's still pretty crazy. I mean, if you can play this whole game, that shit's gonna be fucking eerie, dude. Playing this whole shit, Village
Village?
and playing Resident Evil 4 in
I,
VR
I
is
don't
gonna
think
be
Resident Evil
like,
4. I don't think Resident Evil 4 is going to be in VR, dude.
what you mean? They said it was VR content, and I'm telling you, it's on the Quest right now.
I know, but that the one that's on the Quest is a completely different game.
Is
You're
it?
not
It's
understanding.
not the same exact game,
But it's the old PS2 game. So you can
right?
hand
You're saying because of
you're
the
not
graphics?
understanding. A remake is a completely different game than the original.
Hmm.
Not the way it plays, but in the hardware and in the graphics and in the what it is. It's a whole new game. Like if
Right?
I could play God of Demon Souls 3 on VR, doesn't mean I could play Demon Souls PS5 on VR. Like there's two separate, even though they're the same game in as far as content goes, they're
Hmm.
separate games as far as like their technology. Like they're completely separate technologies that
So
those games are made from.
So you think it's going to be what, a lesser quality, or what? Like what do you think the difference is going to be if you were to play it on VR as opposed to playing it on console? Because this is the new VR2 headset. They didn't
Yeah,
say it was.
they would have to optimize it. So you're going to remake the game. That means you're upping the graphics, you're upping everything. That means it has to be re-optimized.
Right.
It's not just a remaster, as I'm trying to say. Like it's a whole new development of the game from the ground up.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're a whole new coding. So
Gotcha.
you would have to optimize it for VR. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's why Resident Evil 8 is coming out so much later, right?
Yeah.
Because they weren't able to launch it. It has to be redeveloped for VR. That's
Gotcha.
why I don't think you're going to see Resident Evil 4 in VR. At least not at launch. Like maybe someday you will, but not day one because it has to be optimized. Because
Mm-hmm.
you saw in Resident Evil 8, they want you to be able to like see your arms. I don't need that. I don't need any of that. I wish they didn't feel like they had to do that. I wish they could just
Mm-hmm.
let me put the headset on and just get more immersed and use a controller or whatever. But they feel
Mm-hmm.
like they have to make it like where you see your hands and like you're
You gotta do
really
shit with your hands and
virtual.
stuff.
Like it's
That's
really,
what the VR
yeah,
is.
that's what the whole VR thing experience is. And so
Right.
if they want it to be that, then you're going to have to optimize every game for that. That's why that's the problem with the AAA thing is like not every AAA game developers are going to optimize their game for VR experience. Like that's what
Right.
sucks. Which is
Yeah.
why I just wish they let it play. Just let it play through the headset, at least that.
Well, you
But we
don't want
don't
to do
ever
the
get that.
movie theater, because I mean, you can play anything through the headset and do like the movie theater view, but it's just not, it's not as
Well,
cool.
what I mean is like at least where I look around. Maybe I don't see my hands and like I have all that additional like functionality, but
Yeah,
at least let it include where I can like look
yeah,
right
no,
up
I
and
I
down.
I
Like
get you
that's
on
at
that
least
because sometimes I look at the games and I just be like, damn, I would play this, but I don't really want to feel like fumbling with the controllers and stuff like that. Like if I could use my regular controller and use it, then it'd probably be a little bit better. But it's something about being, and having to use your hands and
right, right. I get
holding your
it.
hands up and stuff, that makes you put in there. But I mean, if you go back, dude, I was pumped for the Saints and Sinners,
Oh, I
you
know.
know,
When I saw
because that's
that,
another full
I
game.
thought I
So
thought
right
you would
there, I'm
like
like,
this
oh wow.
because you enjoyed the first Saints and Sinners a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I
this
didn't,
is
I didn't finish it, just because there was so many other things to play and whatnot, and this one takes time because it's a little tough, when you're playing it in VR. But the fact that they got another one is good, you know what I mean? Because that's just like another solid whole game that you can play on your VR headset. So
right.
the thing that I'm hoping the most is that these things won't be subjected to only the PSVR 2. Like I hope that I can still play it with my VR1 headset, and it's just like, not as good of the graphics as you would get if you were to
Oh,
play
see,
on the
I think you'd
VR2.
only be able to play it on VR2, bro.
Yeah,
I,
it's
I,
just
I
it's
would
just weird
highly
because
doubt it.
you still have to use the console. You still have to be attached to the console in order to play these games. So it's
Right.
not like what's your real holdup? You know what I'm saying? The graphical output is
So
the
I
only
wanted to
thing that
ask
should
you,
really keep you stuck. You know what I'm saying? But if you fluctuate that graphical output, then
like,
let
look
people
at
still
look
be
at
able to
this
play it.
graphics.
Hmm.
Like, these are pretty trash graphics.
Yeah, they're okay.
Like,
Hmm.
that's the problem. Like, that's the problem. Is these things cannot pump out like modern graphics. So they have a hard time making the AAA games playable on this hardware. That's the problem, dude. Like, so they have to develop special games that can run on the hardware. That's why they get their own little special games, right? You
Yeah,
know how we mentioned how it's like a Game Boy Advance versus Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Wii, right? Like it's two separate consoles. Like that's what this VR2 is, like a whole separate console because they
I
can't
think
run the games.
I mean, it's like that for some of these other games that would be more of a graphical impact because they have like really good graphics. But I mean, like No Man's Sky is just the one game, and then if you put on your VR headset, you'll play No Man's Sky with your VR headset on. Same game, but it's not
Right.
crazy ass like realistic graphics and
Right.
shit like that
Right.
that
It's
you're
pretty
looking
easy
at.
to render those graphics. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you get more games like that, then you'll still be in a good ballpark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I would agree with you. If you get like a good handful of games,
Yeah.
right, that play both
Either
ways.
way, yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
that
all
play
you
both
need.
ways. That
Right.
would be cool. It just doesn't seem like they're
Speaking of No
showing. They
Man's
do
Sky,
yeah. Speaking of No Man's Sky, which this is a great game.
yeah,
It's
and
just
they keep fucking adding to it, dude.
they
It's
keep
crazy.
updating it. And then
It's
you realize that
crazy.
you can build mechs now.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it looks like this guy. I think it's where is it right here? Like that mech
mhm,
seems like that's your mech because it's just sitting there not doing anything.
yeah.
So it seems like you
Well, I
hopped
think
out of that.
I think that one was there was one that was shooting or
See, it's just
whatever.
sitting there; it doesn't move.
Right, right,
Like
right.
that seems like that's one that you can get in and out of. So that's something that's new. They just
Hmm.
added mechs into the game, which is dope.
Yeah,
But this is yeah. If you can get more games that at least can be two ways, it's the PS5 version that you can
yeah.
play on VR. Like that's dope. I just think like the more and more we see, the more and more it seems like it's this separate console. Like this game right here,
This is
Call of the
definitely
Mountain
separate
or
console,
whatever,
but yeah.
right? Like,
Hmm.
and you can see that the graphics are just way worse. Like this, that those
But
graphics,
they're
that's
still
just
pretty good
way
though.
worse than PS5's Horizon. But
Yeah.
it's fine. It's pretty. It's like it's more like cartoonish because they couldn't get the graphics to be real like Aloy, so it's a little
Right.
bit more cartoony graphics. Um, but I did want to ask you like one thing I will say about this game is it didn't seem like they just made Horizon, Zero Dawn on VR. It seems
Mhm.
like they have a different mechanic here. Like a lot of it's the climbing. Like you're
Yeah.
doing a lot of like it's more about like
Scaling.
it's
Yeah.
more like you're moving your arms and climbing. It's not just about like going on missions and shooting. It seems like whenever you even come across a dinosaur or a robot, it's like one of them. You're just fighting
Yeah.
like one. It's not like a herd like in the real game. And like
Yeah.
it's like
No.
a mechanic thing. Like hit it at this moment, right? Like dodge at this moment and just
Yeah.
shoot it. Like it's
So
very
it's
much like a,
probably it's probably you know a lot of climbing that you have to do, puzzle solving and whatnot, and then you get to a certain location and then you have like a boss fight or something like that, and then you move
right. And it's just like a one
forward.
fight encounter.
Yeah,
So I think that's a good direction. Like it makes it feel different than Horizon.
and
So
it
it's
looks like
not
it might be a
just
different character. It might not even be Aloy.
yeah,
It
it
might
is.
be
It's a
somebody
guy. You
else.
actually have a guy,
Yeah.
a dude
So
now
you're
as the
just
main
in the
hero.
world and
But
whatnot.
like you could see, like it's all mountains. Like that's what this game seems like. It's called the mountain. Okay, well that makes sense now. Why it's called Call of the Mountain. You're probably
Yeah.
like trying to scale to the top of this mountain, and there's different rungs on this mountain, and there's different zones on the mountain. And once
Uh-huh.
you beat that zone, you climb to the next one, and you're probably like trying to conquer this mountain and get to the top of it or whatever. Like that's a
Yeah. Maybe
cool
you're like a
idea. So
scout
like
mapping out some shit or something. I
yeah,
don't
it
know.
makes it feel like it's its own thing for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's not bad. It's not just like a knockoff version of Horizon Zero Dawn, right? Or Forbidden West. It's
Yeah.
its own kind of experience that's different from those games.
Right.
Like not just a different story, but like a whole different feel. right? So that's a good direction. They just basically use Horizon as the world and not the gameplay mechanic. It's more just a setting and like, which is cool. I just oftentimes they give you a dumbed down version. Like we said before with the tablet games, they give you like
Hmm.
a dumbed down version of the real game. This feels like its own separate game, like its own separate, you know, interactive experience. So
Yeah.
that's a selling point. I can see how someone like, dude, I want to experience that. I don't want to just play Halo on VR. Like this is a whole different kind of feeling,
Hmm.
right? So I want to play that game, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of cool. That's a good selling point. They might get some sales because of that Call of the Mountain game, right? Like really, honestly, it's going to be like probably a really cool experience, kind of like the way Half-Life Alex was for the VR for the Rift or whatever was like a
Right.
really unique experience. That
Yeah.
Call of the Mountain seems like it could be like a really cool, unique experience.
For sure,
And
man.
then this update's pretty cool too.
Yeah. Giving
You
you, I
can
mean, giving you
respec.
New Game Plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
New Game Plus. You can respec
Giving you a
now.
couple of new weapons and things like that, makes it a good time for them to have given this to you for free. This would have been a nice PS Plus edition instead of God of War. You know what I mean?
That would have been even. Yeah, that's
To get
better
you
than God of
excited
War, right?
for
Yeah.
Call of the Mountain or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, give us this game. Like, that'd be sick. I'd be like, oh, that's a good one. I didn't buy that bitch yet. It would suck for you because you bought it, but yeah, I didn't buy it yet, so I could have used it
And then of course Spider-Man on
for
PC.
PC.
Is there
Yeah.
any exclusive now that hasn't been ported to PC? I feel like
Um,
is there anything
I
left?
don't think I
Last
don't
of Us
think Ghost
2,
of Tsushima is on there yet. I think
Ghost of
it's planned,
Tsushima.
but it's not on there
But
yet.
the question is, I guess, are they going to keep anything sacred? Or will everything eventually get
I think everything
I think
eventually is
every I
going.
agree,
We
man. I
we
think
got we got that
everything.
we had that notion a while back, right? And then we
Yeah.
got a confirmation,
Yeah.
like last week when they were saying that they were putting like a couple 100 million into
Yeah.
expanding to
That's right.
different sources or whatever, and putting them out there and whatnot. And yeah, so I mean this is just the next step,
Yeah, I
they'll
think
wait
I
a
think
minute
I
and they'll
think
port
it
it over.
I agree. I think we are done with true
Exclusivity.
exclusivity. Like
Yeah.
true exclusivity.
Right.
Everything's timed exclusive now, I think. I think
Yeah,
that's just
and
the future.
they're looking at it as more of like a profit factor, like
It's all
Xbox
profit, yeah.
Xbox been doing it, you know what I'm saying? And it's either you got one of the consoles and you got a PC, or you just got a PC. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like either or. So, they're not really like losing you out on anything by them throwing it. They're only giving it.
Yeah, I
You know
agree,
what I mean?
dude. Like
People who play the console and love the console are just gonna get the game for the console. And the people who decide that they only want to play on the PC will now have a chance to play it, and that's more money, and they get to charge full price on it. Even though it's like 30 to 20, $30 to $40 cheaper, um, anywhere else for the console. You know what I mean? They're charging full,
yeah,
for the
and
stuff.
then this Stray of course looks good. I
Mm-hmm.
still look forward to playing it. The platforming looks fun. I thought that was kind of cool. The cat was hiding in the little box while the robot came by and he
Right,
missed
right, right.
it.
So you're able to be sneaky and
I feel
kind of
like we didn't really
creep
need to
around.
see any more of this. Like I think we've seen enough. I think we're all ready for it. July 19th we got a date. So that's this summer, which is cool. I love when they do a summer launch. They never really do. So
Right. But
um
this is what I thought was interesting, that they were enticing you to upgrade to that
yes.
that next extra
Yes.
in the PS
Right
Plus,
here. Premium
the
and extra get to play Stray, right?
premium
It's
and
like
deluxe. Yeah.
come
So it's like
on.
you get that for free. So it's like, okay, so we're finally seeing like a game that's a
Yeah,
new
A
game
game. Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
for that
absolutely.
console, and it'll be available for you to play it. So, that's cool. But is it enough to make you upgrade to that premium? You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
I
Like,
wanted to talk to you about this one.
mhm.
Calypso
Now this
Protocol.
is a clip supposed. So when I looked at this, I got a
Protocol found
feeling
on
that
the
it was
web.
like Dead Space.
According to turnpaperwarehouse.com,
What
a
is this thing?
protocol
So when I was looking at this, I almost got like the idea, like, oh, this is like a different improved like Dead Space or something like that,
Dude,
And kind of
dude,
gave me
look at
Dead Space
look
vibes.
at look at this. Gotta rewind this.
Go
Look at
ahead.
this. This is a straight look at this. If I can get it here. Oh, did you see that?
What?
If I can get it, I'm gonna get it. It's a straight Dead Space copy. Let's see if I can get it right here. It's coming up. Ah, there it is. Look it. It's
Oh,
a
your
3
gun?
dot line, dude.
Yeah. From your gun and everything.
They're doing. It's not just a one cursor. They're doing the spread line shot, just like freaking Dead Space.
Yeah, that was
And
that
even
rail
like,
gun, whatever that was.
and even like his back, his health is on. Look at his health is visible
It's
on his
almost like
body.
the final.
This is a straight Dead Space clone, dude. Pure. Just
Yeah,
a different world, different hero.
I dead ass thought this was like Dead Space 3 or something like that.
Me
know?
too.
Like, they had,
Me
like,
too.
shit or whatever.
I
but
thought it was a Dead Space. It was gonna be like a Calypso Project Dead Space or whatever. Dead Space
Yeah,
Calypso Protocol.
I thought that
Yeah.
the reason why he was out of his spacesuit or something like that is that he was like on his hunt for it, and I thought that they would show at the very end of it him, like sliding into the spacesuit and then it, like locking in and everything and suiting him up, and you're like, yes, dude, Dead Space, 3. But
I agree,
nah,
dude.
this is some totally
Dude, I
different.
thought
It's
the same thing, bro.
Like, I gotta figure out who fucking made this one and if it's the same people that made Dead Space,
But when I saw this and his gun, his little, you could see his
indicator for how many rounds you had
his
left.
ammo count, and then it's the three dot horizontal line. I was like, this is straight Dead Space. This is gonna be Dead Space Calypso Protocol or whatever. But no, like it's its own game. But I thought it was going to be that because if you look at the new Dead Space remake gameplay, it's like the same exact graphics as this.
Right.
So
yeah, and Little Big Planet,
I just was like,
cool for the PC. I think that would be a solid seller right there. I'm surprised they haven't done that already because that's just metal.
Like whoever made this is like their love letter, to Dead Space. Like, this is them saying like
it just has the entire feel of Dead Space. So
100%.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna definitely play it. You know what I mean? But
this
bitch is gonna be creepy.
Yeah, it looks identical. It's crazy, which is not a bad right. When we say that, it's not necessarily a bad thing because Dead Space is so damn good. But you could see like they straight copied, which is fine because that was a great game. It's fine when you copy a great game. Like whenever you see a Souls like, you're happy because like you enjoy Souls games. So like whenever you see a game like Dead Space, you're kind of fine with it because it's a great game. Right.
Yeah.
So
the only thing is you're just hoping that it's as good as that. And
you're hoping. Yeah. You're always hoping. Yeah.
Right.
But I could have sworn, man. I thought for sure when they showed the title of this, it was gonna say Calypso Protocol, whatever, and then Dead Space there because it just was like such a straight Dead Space. I was expecting to see Dead Space pop up somewhere, the Calypso Protocol and then Dead Space, but no, it's just. And this is coming out this year, PS5, PS4 exclusive. December 2nd, so that's coming this year, so that's pretty soon. So we'll see what that's about.
Hopefully it does actually come out, this year, so that'd be solid. And
then this game was fun. It was funny.
Yeah,
roller derby game.
Yeah, the roller derby thing, man. I thought it was kind of interesting because this seems like this would be something that would come out for free for you to fuck around with.
It does,
This is like, I think this is this Ubisoft?
I don't know who made this game.
Okay,
this is like my friend Pedro kind of game, like you're flipping around shooting things.
Yeah, it's just like a little take on something else, and then the graphics are kind of like, like low key, so it's just
like a cartoon or something. Yeah, like it looks fun. I would, if it was cheap or free, I would probably for sure.
Yeah, give it a go.
Give it a shot because
just to play with it.
It looks fun to like blow things up and shoot the gun and dodge. Like that seems fun. Yeah. Like so, like it's just silly. It's just funny. Like it's kind of fun seeing these silly games like people come up with this stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're just kind of like this is kind of interesting. But yeah, it's not a game that like you're hip on paying $30 for. Like you're not trying to pay like high end AAA or I should say AA indie quality for. But like you look at that, you're like if you can get that for 10 or free on PS Plus or something, like you're pretty happy. Right. You're pretty happy with that.
Yeah, that would be a solid grab.
So that just was cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I forgot what is this?
I think this is
this
was that anime looking one, man. It kind of reminded me of Persona a little bit.
Yeah, I couldn't get a feel for it though. Like I couldn't quite like you're hack and slashing a bit here, but the graphics seem a little bit like old like Vita level graphics. and you're just
Yeah.
kind of like, what is? I'm kind of understanding like what is this game, and then you
Yeah.
kind of had like you mentioned like you had like social interactions,
Right. So
you
that's
know.
that's where it reminded me of Persona and whatnot, and it still said something about like going to school or something. So it was like one of those Japanese RPG type things. And then it also had that the fighting in real life, like damn it, what's that one game? Uh where you're like a vampire. And you gotta collect like those little blood crystals or something like that. I can't remember what it was. There's
It
another
was an
one that's
anime type
similar.
game.
Yeah, and there's another one that's similar, where you're locked up in prison for like like 999 million years, something like that, and you have to go out and fight to reduce your sentence. I can't remember what the name of that game was.
Oh yeah, yeah. You played that one like really. That was a Vita game, bro.
It was PlayStation
Yeah, that
also.
was a Vita game though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This feels like a Vita game. When
Yeah,
you look at this, it feels like a Vita quality game.
for sure.
It didn't
But
seem like a modern game, but it might be fun. It doesn't just because it's Vita quality doesn't mean that
that it won't be fun. Yeah,
that it won't be fun. You know.
yeah. So I mean, that one seems like it'll be maybe like a cool little game to come across and play like way after it's released. If it's not free. And
Now
try to get it for.
this game shocked me. This game took me for a loop, dude.
Yeah, I didn't know
Right?
exactly what it was when I looked at it, and
Yeah,
I was
dude.
like, okay. And then when I started seeing all of the characters and stuff, I was like, oh, okay, I got this, because it just looked like some type of a brawler with like a story or something like that. Like just imagine walking around in a city or something, and then coming across these characters, these iconic characters, and then challenge them to a street fight. You know what I mean? That would probably be a little tighter than just the
Yeah,
basic
like
going around fighting.
this seems like a real open world almost, not like a fully whole open world, but
Right.
like an actual world. You're like running around in this world, walking, running from place to place. You're like in the world doing action combat. So it's not just like, a fight scene. Like
Hmm.
he just looks like he just challenged a random dude. Look at this. Like, who is this guy? Like right here. Who is this dude? Who's
Yeah.
this dude with this mustache right here? Just
I
some
don't
kind of
know.
random dude, like he challenges to a fight, and
Yeah, but
like he
that's like those
agrees.
anybody can get it guys. Like they just out here just for you to get some extra XP.
Yeah,
You
like
whip
that's
these
dope
guys to get
though.
you ready
This
for the
feels
next one.
like very PVE, like Streets of Rage, kind of like beat 'em up. Like
Yeah.
it's a different direction for Street Fighter, man. Like I'm not kidding. This is the kind of move that I think is so wise to try and bring in people like me and you, people who aren't fighters, who don't like fighter games, but like PVE beat 'em ups. That
Yeah.
there's something here for like us that
If
isn't
it's like
just
a
strictly like
story,
a fighter.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If
like if
it's
it's
a
a story.
story
Yeah,
that you're going through and you have like this
like
end game goal, you know what I mean? And
like for
you just
instance,
have
like
to
this looks like
cast these guys up.
like these are the iconic characters. But
Yeah.
this person that you're running around with who was hitting the beanbag in the beginning, and like this chick here,
Yeah.
this girl here with like right here, this girl fighting Chung Li with like these headphones on.
Yeah.
She seems like a this girl seems it's like some kind of create your own, my career path kind of like character, and
Right.
like you're like rising the ranks of Street Fighters. That's what this seems like,
Yeah, that would be
right?
dope, man.
Like a create your
To
own.
to have to fight each of these guys, you know what I mean, and work your way up the ranks. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Just fighting
that's
the little
cool,
distance,
dude.
just get better. Yeah, this would be sick. So I hope that's what it is, but we don't necessarily know what it is because it's just got, it's just this right here. But I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more of it because it'll probably be like the first Street Fighter game that I've played since like Sega. You know what I mean? Like I don't play fighters like that at all, but if it could give me this type of shit, with a story behind it, I'd be more enthused about it.
I agree. And then like the fighting looked awesome, like the
Yeah,
graphics and
but
just
their
like the
special effects
fighting.
and all that stuff is
Yeah,
always
the
looks good.
special effects look sick and dope.
Yeah.
Like it just looks super cool. So like this really actually shocked me. I wasn't expecting them to like deviate this much from their formula, and take a risk like this and kind of go open world, like create your own character and like my career path, like you said, and beat like if this is the direction they're going, like that's awesome, man. Good for them. Like they would maybe get me to buy it, you know? Like
Yeah.
that's a great decision.
Mm.
So, you know, it's not just us going into a game getting our ass kicked by some pro online, you know, like that doesn't entice me. But like an open world PvE, like where I'm doing my like this, create my own character,
Right.
I'm up for that, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you saw the new logo. You had to get the new logo, right? The 6 in the background from that fiasco where they just got that Adobe or whatever
Yeah.
$60 logo. Remember when that happened? Like they just updated
Yeah.
their logo, so they needed to do that. That's a great job on their part, listening to
Yeah.
the community, you know. So that was a surprise, man. Pleasant surprise for sure.
Yeah, man.
And then I can't remember. Was there anything left in this? There's a couple things left. Yeah, I think there's 2 more things are showing up. Oh yeah, I wasn't too hip on like Tunic. Like I've already played this on Game Pass, so like it's just coming to PlayStation is kind of like. I mean, I recommend everyone play this game. So like if you don't have Game Pass and you don't have an Xbox, then absolutely go and buy this game and play this game because it's really incredible. Like Tunic's a really awesome game.
Yeah, so what's the deal with this? Was Tunic just never available on the PS5 and the PS4?
No, it wasn't. So this is the first time it's
So
going to be available.
It was basically an Xbox exclusive for a short period of time.
Basically,
like
yeah.
what was it, like 4 months or something, or 3 months?
Yeah, it was kind of like an ultra short exclusive window.
Yeah,
because this is pretty quick.
Because I was like,
the PS5.
I was
quick.
like, well, Tunic's been out, but I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe it just hasn't been available or something.
Yeah,
like that.
so September 27th.
Yeah,
it's a great game, man. It's really great. So, but yeah, it's out already if you've got an Xbox.
Yeah, it's just weird that they would have shown it on the State of Play. Like, why didn't they just announce it? Like, I don't know if it deserved a State of Play spot, but
I can agree with that. Yeah, because this is a whole new game. This one right here.
Yeah,
this is a whole new game, right? So, like to show it with Tunic is kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, basically everything that we've seen so far has been all new.
Yeah,
all new information except for Tunic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like an odd man out. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And I guess No Man's Sky, but I mean the fact that they have it, I think they were trying to advertise it that it was playable on the PSVR.
Right.
So but besides those two or whatever,
everything's been pretty much a reveal. Yeah,
has been a new reveal of information and whatnot. This one I'm not really too enthusiastic about, but this kind of gives me like that True Colors or whatever Life is Strange type of vibe or something like that. So those have never really I haven't really been interested in those, and I haven't tried them either. So maybe I'll give it a try or something.
Yeah, the world looks pretty beautiful and pretty open. They did a great job with that, but I agree. Like the pacing just seems way too slow for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just don't think I have the patience for something like this. But I mean, look how big the world is, and like she's just biking, in a direction for a long ways. Like these are big open expanses.
Yeah.
So I mean that's cool, but I just don't think I have the patience for just like a picture collecting game, and just sitting and enjoying like a scenic area. Like she's just sitting there enjoying an area. Like I don't think I have the patience for this kind of game. So this is probably a pass for me. Not to say that there isn't beauty there. It's just not for me for sure. Now this was the one here. This is sick, dude. Like Final Fantasy 16, man. That is dope. Come on, you have to admit, man.
Yeah.
Like the gameplay looked really sick for this.
But they've been constantly stepping up the graphics and the gameplay and stuff like that for a while now. It just seems like they've taken what they've already like excelled good at, with like I think maybe 14, 15's been a really solid game, you know what I mean? And just just doing better with it. So I mean to see this on here is cool.
Yeah, this is the first gameplay we've ever seen of this game. Like we saw the cinematic trailer when they announced it.
Right.
But this is like the first actual in-game combat we've seen.
Right, the actual footage that you'll get to check out, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not turn-based. It's real-time action. Right? Like it looks super cool, man. I'm definitely pumped. And it seems like you have like all the different mythological gods to fight.
Yeah, they were
I think
naming
it was
all
like
of them in the
Odin
song
and like it
too.
was like all of them, right? Like it
Yeah,
was
did you
cool,
notice
man.
that in the song that the words were actually saying like Odin, Ifrit, whatever, like all of the names in that
No, I didn't notice that in the song. Yeah, it was they
yeah,
were singing the
like
song. Yeah,
yeah, as you peep it out. I mean, if you got we have it muted or whatever for
right.
copyright purposes or whatever because we're not as cool as those other guys who can play the full volume on their shit without getting struck. But if you go back and watch the video of this part of the state of play and you hear like every time you look
That
at the
looks so
words,
sick, dude. Like,
yeah,
that looks
but
dope.
every time you look at the words, they're actually the guy's actually singing those words in the song.
Those
So it's
mythological
interesting.
gods, yeah.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
yeah, this seems really cool, man. Definitely a must buy, in my opinion. This is one I would definitely buy and play for sure.
Yeah. I still have to play 15, man. I'm sleeping on that one, dude. I still have
Dude,
to
15 was
I still have
sick,
to play
dude.
it. But it's like a long ass
Cool.
game, right?
It's pretty long, yeah.
Yeah.
This seems a little bit more like this seems more medieval, like what I like. 15 is more modern. You have like a car and you drive around.
Mm-hmm.
This seems a little bit more like medieval. Like I kind of like the direction of this one as far as like the setting, but 15 is still super fun. Like
Yeah.
it's just a blast to play. Which this is like that, but it also has the cool setting that I like the dragons and the mythology. Like that's what I think excites me even more about this game is not only does it look awesome to play, but I like the setting so much more than 15. So like I'm really, really like definitely on board. Like I'm 100% on board with this one.
Right.
I was just worried too that it might be turn based, but it's not. It's gonna be the Phoenix, the Titan,
Garuda.
Shiva, Odin. Yeah, Ifrit. Yep, like all the mythology. You get to fight all of them, I think. Yeah, it's gonna be dope, man. It's gonna be sick for sure. I think this was the last thing. This is the last thing, right? This is what they ended the show on.
Yeah, I believe it was.
So I guess I'll ask you, how'd you think of the show, man? What'd you think of the show overall? What were your impressions?
I thought it was okay. I would have rather they had showed some other games other than Resident Evil that they might have incorporated with the PSVR 2 headset. But I still thought that they were, solid games in that fact that, if they're just at the point where you can just have one game and be able to play the VR headset on that same one game that you could have used a controller on, that we're definitely headed in the right direction as far as the options are concerned. And like I said, I would have hoped for a little bit more in-depth information on the PSVR 2 headset, and seeing it at work or whatnot. But it's probably going to be a while before it ends up getting dropped. But I thought all in all, I mean, if you just look at the sheer fact that it was all like brand new news, it wasn't shit that we'd already seen or knew about or heard of or whatever. I mean, you might have rumors and things like that, but like for sure knowing that this was coming out or whatever, So I thought this was a solid one.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like, me, like I'm not super hip on PSVR, but I thought they did a great job weaving it in here without making it too heavy-handed, hitting you on the face with it, and like bogging the show down with it because it could really bog the show down. And I thought they just kind of like showed it off, got you interested in it. Like, hey, remember we're here. Some of these games are coming to VR2. I know you know, like these are AAA titles like Resident Evil 8, like trying to alleviate some of the fears. And then they showed you what you wanted to see: new reveals, new games, gameplay for games that we knew were announced but hadn't seen gameplay for yet. That all delivered. Like they were all cool looking. So not only did like they show the gameplay finally, but it was gameplay that was interesting, that got me excited for these games. And so because of that, even though I'm not a PSVR fan, I liked the show. Like I thought it was a really great show, We didn't get any God of War, which I thought we would, but what they did show was really cool. I'm really excited probably most for Resident Evil 4. Just because I loved 8 so much that like I really can't wait to play that. And then second would be Final Fantasy 16, and that's launching in the summer of next year. And like I've said many times, I love when they do a summer launch because they never launch new games in the summer. And so finally getting a summer launch is really cool. You always have this dead 3 months, right? Where like you get nothing from like June to September. And it's like, I just love when they do a summer drop. And so that was really great news. So I was pretty happy with the show all in all, man.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good show.
Yeah, man. So let us know in the comments down below what you guys thought about the state of play. Was this another solid worthy one, or was this a dud? So let's move on to the next topic. And we have Sonic Frontier, man. So we heard about this a little while ago, maybe like a couple of months or so ago. And then we're finally getting some gameplay today. And first off, like, I was pumped to find out that we were gonna have like an RPG type of open world, Sonic or whatever. Maybe not RPG, but at least open world, Sonic. But I don't know. With this, I kind of felt like this was on the level of like Dead Space when they showed us the just the blank template of an area, and we're showing us how like the physics and mechanics and stuff like that of the game was. You know what I mean? I felt like they should have showed us more like interaction
it's a little
with other
bland, you mean?
NPCs. Yeah, this is like, I would not like, I like Sonic, but I would not buy this game if this is all you did was just running around the map and then like coming up to coins and then solving these like super simple ass like puzzles and stuff like that, and you had like no interaction with like Dr. Robotnik, any other NPCs. You know what I mean? Like, you're not helping any creatures. You know what I'm saying? Like, this seems like really like bare bones. So if their only intent was to just show us, like a sneak peek of like, this is what you can do in the world, and there's no quests, no goals, like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, if I'm just running around to just and look, you know what I mean? Then this brings me back to like, No Man's Sky when it first came out. Like, okay, what do I do? Like, what's my purpose? You know what I mean?
Yeah, this almost seems like a running simulator.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're just running around the world. Because it seems pretty empty. Right? Like, the world seems kind of empty.
And that I didn't see any enemies or anything like that in here. So it's like, what is really going on here? Like, this just seems like, that they created the world. And so, you're getting an idea of how you would traverse through this world. But the whole purpose of being in this world is lost to me, because I don't see, what's his purpose of collecting these rings? You know what I mean? What's the purpose of just traveling to all these places? It looked like it could have dungeons, which would be really nice. Like, if you could go into like little temples and there would be like sacred artifacts or something like that in there, that you could collect. That would be cool, but I want enemies. Like, there should be enemies and quests and things like that.
Do you remember that game Flower?
Yes.
Where like you just kind of like floated around and collected other petals and like grew larger, and like it was just kind of like a floating simulator. Like, I feel like
I know exactly what you mean.
This feels like that, right? Like, you're not really doing anything, you're just kind of like flowing. You're just kind of like, doing combos from thing to thing, looking at the world. Like, it's pretty and kind of cool to look at for like an hour.
Yeah.
But what's going to keep me playing this for 20, 30 hours, right? Like, what's going to keep me coming back to this? I think like that's the problem I'm seeing here. You're kind of like a little mesmerized as you play for a little while. Like, I'm a little mesmerized by this as I watch it. Like, I'm just kind of like, wow, I'm just kind of like mesmerized by all the movement and the flowing. But I agree, like, it does seem just empty.
Yeah,
like,
I start
thinking,
flowing. After a while, I start thinking, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, I don't see Tails anywhere. I don't see Knuckles or, Dr. Robot. Like, where are the main characters at? Like, where are the villains?
This seems like Journey. Yeah, I don't know if you ever played Journey. But see, the thing that made Journey beautiful, though, as well, I'll mention Arachnid Soul, is that it was the perfect length. It didn't overstay its welcome. Like, it was like 3-4 hours and it was done. And you were just like, wow, that was a beautiful adventure. And I think Flower was the same way. Like, you got this great feeling. But I feel like they want this to be like Breath of the Wild. Like they want it to be like an epic. Like you're going and you're exploring and you're spending dozens of hours
Yeah.
in this
I
world,
mean,
but I
the
don't see
map
how this will
just
hold you
looks
that
so
long.
big. Yeah, the map looks so big. Like it should be on that epic level. You know, that there just should be so much shit to do. But this world seems empty. Like it's just got the basis, you know what I mean? Like that little exclamation point sign or that question mark sign that's by the puzzles. Like what is that? That I feel like that's a
Right.
place filler. Like that there should be something else
Right. Like
there,
the little question marks here. Yeah.
like, you know, something popping up to give you some reward for that. Like that didn't give you anything for it. So I feel like, you know, I feel like the way that they showed this, they should have just shown you you know, like a sequence of like, you know, running through and then, you know, show you a cutscene from the game. And then more like, you know, bouncing around, boom, and another cutscene from the game. You know what I'm saying? Like bounce you in and out of like real gameplay footage and then the story, like what's going on in here
Right.
and stuff like that.
Right.
And I feel like it's
Yeah.
lacking the story part of the show.
I think I agree. As much as I am mesmerized, like I was memorized with Journey, I was mesmerized with Flower. Those games are beautiful in their own right. But I agree a lot with you on the fact that there's not enough here gripping me as far as story, as far as like what to do
Yeah.
in this world that would make me want, I think, to keep playing this for 20 hours. I can't imagine
Bro,
how
honestly,
I could do this for 20 hours.
Aragnid, honestly, would you buy this game if it was just that? Like if it was just collect 1,000 coins to
And
open
move
up
to the
the
next
next
zone and
area.
do it over again.
Yeah, and then it's just like, it's just a new area to collect coins, and then you collect, 3,000 to move to the next area. Like, and you fight no monsters, no enemies or anything like that. It's just moving through luscious green area to next luscious green area. Are you gonna play this?
I mean, I think the answer is
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it either. I mean, it would be cool, but I wouldn't buy it. That would have to be free for me to just run around and not fight anything, because that's the essence of Sonic. The rings are just a happenstance. He collects them shits, but he's constantly destroying enemies and fighting against Dr. Robotnik and
I
all
agree.
of his
Like
helpers. That's the
what
whole
I
point
was hoping
of
for
Sonic.
from this game was I was hoping for not just combat, but like I wanted to collect things to make Sonic stronger, right? Like I wanted
Yes,
him
dude.
to fight things and get new gear and new weapons. Like,
Certain items
oh
that
snap,
could
I
give,
got the supersonic gauntlets. Dang,
yes,
dude, I hit like
weapons and
harder,
things like
and you
that.
have like
Yeah,
a new animation when you punch. Like
new
I wanted
shoes and
cool things
shit.
like
You know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
the shoes. You go level 3 speed now or something. Like I think it would
yeah.
just been so cool if that's what I was really hoping from this. But this is feeling like an open world flower, right? Like open world Sonic flower version of just collecting 1,000 coins and like Arakin said, moving to the next zone and doing it all over again.
Right.
I could this would like I would scratch my eyeballs out, man. Right? Like I
Well,
couldn't do this for
I
hours on
wouldn't
end.
have. My eyeballs wouldn't have even touched it. It would have had to have been one of those things that they just gave us for PS Plus or something like that. If it was legit just doing this that we're seeing right here, it wouldn't interest me at all. I'd
Yeah,
rather go
right.
back
Like
and
a
play Sonic
$10.
Racing or something.
Yeah, charge me what you charged me for Journey. $10, 3 hours and I'm done. Yeah, that was really cool. Sonic was fast. Yay. That
Yeah,
was fun,
because
jumping from ring to ring.
this feels like
But
a
I'm done.
complete like an idea demo. Like this is
Yes,
how
that's
we would
true.
make this if we had the
That's true. Like a
funding for it. This
concept.
is how we
It's
would
like a
make it. Yeah, yeah,
concept. Yeah.
concept demo, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Proof of
somebody.
concept. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
a proof of
some
concept.
indie
Yeah.
dude that just was like, I can do this. Like if you fund it, I can do this. You know what I mean? And this is how I would do it. That's it. It doesn't feel like this would be like a AAA title or something
Yes,
like
this
that.
is very shallow as far as depth. They have the running down clearly. It's really cool. And he runs like that's dope.
A
But you need
hat
to
in
give
time,
him
huh? I've
something to
never heard of a
do
hat in time. I have to check
to
that out.
collect. That's
Yeah.
interesting to the gamer. To
And
want to do.
definitely making it, I mean, even if they started to because this is like an open world or whatever, but even if they allowed you to switch your character from like Sonic to Tails, and then possibly like you find like a secret tomb or something like that, or some type of an item that would unlock like Silver Sonic, Metal Sonic, Knuckles and shit. Like give you all of those types of options, but give you enemies to play with. That might even be interesting. But I still feel like this needs a story. Like I just think that this needs a story in general. Like that would be like this would be like the end game shit. You know what I mean? Like you already beat the story and you just like are out here to collect all
You
of
just
the
want to run
items
around now, to collect
yeah,
everything
or
you
to collect
missed.
all the items that you
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah, before
Yeah.
you complete the game or something like that, And it's just like we'll just round up everything. But yeah, man.
It's interesting in a lot of ways, but poor in a lot of ways too, which are disappointing, like really, really disappointing. Because I think they did a pretty decent job capturing the speed of Sonic and the feel of Sonic jumping around from thing to thing, which is very hard to do for someone who isn't. We're not fast by nature, so
Yeah.
to process it and understand that kind of speed in a game is hard to do. So I think they did a good job with that. But I just don't see myself ever wanting to play this for more than 3 hours, and so I can never pay full price for this, like ever, unless they have more depth. You need a great story, but you need a lot of depth to like keep grinding it out.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say no to it yet because this is a very first premiere gameplay. We don't know necessarily what state this is at. I know that the developers or Sega or whatever was saying that they were shooting for, Game of the Year quality. They wanted like a Metacritic score to be high on this.
Yeah.
And there's some things beautiful about it, but it's not a game that I don't want to play as far as I can tell. Which is a shame because I was really hoping for something cool. Like I was hoping for Sonic Breath of the Wild, right? Where you're collecting new weapons and swords and fighting and, conquering your foe. I was expecting that and hoping for that. Not just these little grind puzzles, man. Come on. I don't want a grind puzzle. I don't want to skate on my heels anymore. Like I feel like that's been done 100 times with Sonic. Like why did they do that more of these rails? Like I'm not really understanding why they still went in that direction. Do you even need that? I mean, running around like this in the open world has got to be plenty fast, cool enough. Like
Yeah,
why do
I
I
feel
need
like
these grind rails?
I feel like they added the rails a long time ago and they just kept the rails just for like like effect and like smoother transition into certain things. But I feel like that would be like a combat thing, you know what I mean? Like you would blaze past stuff on a rail and then pop off, boom boom, and then hop on the rail, and it's just like fluid motion shit. Like I don't know if you played
It's
Kingdom
like Jet
Hearts
Set Radio, right?
or I don't know if you played Kingdom Hearts like 2.5 or something like that, but they had added that fluid motion shit where like you could run up to like any light pole and then you would like swing around in circles on it and then you could hop off of it and do like crazy like combos and stuff like that and then pop back on it, swing, hit some other shit, and it was just all for like fluidity. And they made it so like you could grind on rails and things like that, and it just made for like fluid, like really fluid gameplay with like combos to make it look dope, But
yeah,
so I mean, let us know in the comments down below. How do you feel about the new Sonic Frontier gameplay? Do you think this is something in this current state that you would pick up, or do you need to see more? Just sound off. Let us know below. And let's go on to the last topic that we had of the day. And it looks like Dragon Age Dreadwolf was announced. And we've heard of the Dragon Age series. This would be number 4. Is this number 4 or 3?
I think so. I think this would be 4.
Okay. Yeah, so this is, it seems, it's in the same world or whatever, and it seems like they're bringing a character back. I believe was some of the information from an article that I had read, and I don't know what character that is because I can't really recall too many of the Dragon Ages.
Right.
I just know
Me neither.
I just know the last one that I decided I was good on. I think Dragon Age 2 though was the one that I liked. I think 3 was the one I didn't care for, or whatever, that last one anyways, whatever it was, the Dragon Age
Inquisition.
Inquisition. There you go. Inquisition. Origins, I think, was the one that I liked.
And that was 2, right?
Yeah, and then this.
Yeah, Dragon Age Origins, and then Dragon Age Inquisition. And now you have Dreadwolf.
Right. So, how'd you feel about how do you feel about this announcement?
Well,
of
like,
Dragon Age?
I think it's like, look at it's kind of weird looking, the artwork. This looks like Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Like, this seems like, like a
yeah.
Borderlands. Like, it looks a little more whimsical.
Right.
Like, Dragon Age seems like a lot more serious. This seems very whimsical in what they're doing here. So I don't know if they're completely revamping this game, because I agree. I think Inquisition and Origins, those are like a bygone era, man. Like, you can't just release another one of those. Like, you can't just do that same old formula. That's not going to fly with people. So, like, they got to do something different. And so I think, for one, seeing that they've kind of like taken a different look or feel of their logo here with Dreadwolf, like, makes me hope. So I have a little hope. But it has to be something different than those past ones. So that's what I'll say. Seeing this announcement gives me hope, because it looks kind of different. It looks updated. It looks a little new, what they're trying to do here. And I look forward to seeing what they end up presenting us. Based off this, it seems like a different direction. So I'm going to assume it is. And I'm going to be optimistic about them trying to show us something that's fresh and has a new taste and feel from the Dragon Age vibe. Because, I don't know if I can play a whole nother Dragon Age in the old way again for a fourth time. I don't think I can do it.
I mean, I like this is BioWare, right?
This is BioWare, yeah.
Yeah, I like BioWare, but I feel like I kind of agree with Arachnid that this should have been 3. Like, I feel like I believe the story ended in 3 or whatever, and I think it should have stayed that way. I mean, I guess if they're using the same world or whatnot, but I still feel like they could have just done like a whole different series. Just give us something like all new. Instead of continuing on with this franchise.
If you keep doing the same thing over again, I agree with Racking, but you can change up your series. Just like they did with God of War. Like, God of War overstayed its welcome. By God of War 4, you're just like, okay, I've played this way too many times. 1 and 2 is enough, right? But when you had God of War 8 2018, you were totally pumped. It's God of War again, but they freshened it up to such a degree that it was a whole new experience.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying here. You can do a new Dragon Age. That's fine. You just can't do the same thing for the 4th time. You cannot do it. Like, people will not put up with it. Like, people were so fed up with God of War by like the 4th or 5th one. They were just done with it. They had to do something new. So that's what I'm saying here. Like, if they do something new here with it, and they change it up and it feels different and fresh and new, then I'm excited for it, because I love BioWare. I think they make great games. In the past, they've made great games. So I can be excited for it. But I agree, if it isn't, then I totally agree. It needs to be done. It's over. But you can update. You can freshen up an old IP and change it. I don't think it's like off limits now. Like, stop at 2 or 3. But you have to revamp it, And I agree, dude. BioWare needs a win badly, like very badly. I agree with Reacting on that. Like, it's really, really, they failed. Andromeda sucked, was really bad. Once again, they overstayed their welcome. Like, people had enough of that. You can't
Mass
play
Effect is just
100 different Mass Effects.
It's
just drags on. You have to change it some way, and they didn't.
It's certain series where they should just keep them at maybe like a trilogy tops, and then just move on to something else. Like, there's
or revamp it, or revamp the whole thing.
Yeah,
you can't keep the same thing beyond a trilogy. I agree. You have to either revamp it or start something new.
Yeah, I think the only reason that Final Fantasy has stood the strength of time is because they keep on
change it up so much
all your characters and all of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The area, the time or whatever.
The combat's different between a lot of them. Stuff.
Yeah, they changed all of that shit. So because it's always evolving, it doesn't just feel like the same shit copy and pasted. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how it was for the longest. It was just like this long ass story that you played, and it was turn based, and it kind of got dry for me, and that's why I stopped playing Final Fantasy. but then they started changing just the way it even played. You know what I mean? And making it like free roaming and things like that. And so it got a little bit different. It was just like a breath of fresh air on it. So I mean, eventually this will kind of get old, but I mean, if they keep adding like new protagonists and stuff like that, it might help it out.
Yeah, like are you excited to play Borderlands 4? I think we're kind of burnt now, right? Like I think once you've had 3 of them, you're probably like, okay, I kind of want to change it now. I don't want to play
Yeah,
the same exact Borderlands for a 4th time,
yeah. I mean,
you know?
honestly, probably it would probably depend, right? If they could give me like a really compelling story or add like some really new mechanics or something. But when you look at the base of Borderlands and then you try to alter it, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, I didn't buy it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's like one of those things where you just have to be like really dedicated to that franchise and really love that franchise to just be like, I'm just gonna buy it anyways, because I love guns, but it's just like, well, damn, I thought I was hoping this would be like completely different, from like the standard Borderlands title. But it has a lot of feeling as if it's just another way of just doing Borderlands, but by
Yeah,
giving us
exactly.
guns,
That's
making
the
it
point I'm
even
trying to
nail,
make
it's
is you could only do the same formula like
mhm.
for so long. You have to revamp and change your formula. Like
I've kind of ignored the
you
story
can't,
too, Arachne, but yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, Borderlands. I never played Borderlands for the stories. I mean, that's really hard to sell. You play
yeah,
Borderlands for the loot and for the guns, but I just think like you can only you know use a formula for so long. I agree, like 2 or 3 kind of tops,
yeah,
and then by the 4th one, you're kind of done with that formula. You want a new formula.
yeah, and I totally agree, Arachne, dude. Uh, Borderlands has a lot of DLCs, and a lot of these games just feel like they're DLCs. So Tiny Tina's Wonderland actually feels like that would be a perfect DLC to add to like the last Borderlands game that came out. You know what I mean? If you just bought that for like $10 or something, and then you got like this whole different way to play it, and you continue with your character or something, and it's like you open some Pandora's box or something and get sucked into the game or whatever, and it's Tiny Tina orchestrating the shit, that'd have been cool. But I eventually I'll probably get Tiny Tina's Wonderland and check it out. But it may
Yeah,
come
but
to where it was free
like
offered on Game Pass
you
or
know when you know when PS Plus offered that little Tiny Tina up DLC for Borderlands 3. That was the
yes,
DLC that started the trend for Tiny Tina's Wonderland the game.
right.
I loaded that on my system. I was like, oh, I'll try it out, and I played it for like 30 minutes. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. I
Oh
can't do
really?
this. I've already spent so many hours playing this type of game that I'm already so like you know when you eating too much good food, like you're sick of it now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you
You're
kind of want
done.
to vomit it up. Like that's kind of like how I felt with that. I was like, you know what? I just can't. Like I can't do this anymore. Like I've done this enough. I am done enough already. And I
Mm,
kind of feel like that's why I didn't buy Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Like I'm just kind of like over it. Like it's
yeah,
enough. Enough is enough already. And so that's what I'm hoping with Dragon Age that they really change it because otherwise I have no interest in buying this game. They really have to revamp it, man. A whole new fresh start.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's unfortunately that's how it's gotten, and you already have to make decisions about all the other games and stuff like that coming out around that time, and for Elden Ring to come out around that time, it just, something had to bite the dust. And that was definitely one of them, where it was like, it would be Elden Ring or Forbidden West. It wouldn't be like, oh, Elden Ring or Tiny Tina's Wonderland or, Forbidden West or Tiny Tina's Wonderland. You know what I mean? Like Tiny
Right.
Tina just kind of fell back even more, with those other two games,
Right.
being announced and released at the same time. So
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
that's just the way it goes. But yeah, man. So, sound off in the comments below. Let us know. Are you excited for this Dragon Age Dreadwolf? Or are you kind of over Dragon Age like I am? Let us know down below. But that is it. That is all we have for the topics today for the podcast. We appreciate everybody for jumping in.
Yeah, shout out
And,
to Arachne, dude. Like
yeah, for sure,
I
man.
did not ever think that's interesting. Like when you're playing BioWare and you're loving their games and you think I'm gonna love these games forever. Like there's no way I'm not gonna love these games. And now we're in a day and age where I'm just like almost like vomiting from thinking about playing another one of them. Like unless they change it up. Like I'm not interested in buying this game unless it's really different and unique. I'm kind of like over it. And it's crazy because BioWare was so awesome, dude. Jade Empire, like these games, we're talking about games that we thought that we would never get sick of, right? You know, like, and we're done. We're over them.
Yeah, I mean,
Sucks.
is BioWare doing the Knights of the Old Republic?
I don't know if they're the ones remaking it, but I mean, like, yeah, that's incredible. Like, that's iconic. That will always be like in my top 5 all time, right?
Yeah.
And
I mean,
now
they're definitely
here.
they've had some memorable games. You know what I mean? When you look at BioShock, BioWare did BioShock, right? Or was that a different company?
No, that wasn't BioWare. That was not BioWare, not BioShock.
What was that?
They're like Jade Empires, Knights of the Republic, yeah, Baldur's Gate, Dragon Age, Mass Effect. These amazing games, right?
Right.
And we're just over them now. It's crazy. They were like formative, dude, like in gaming history. Yeah. And now we're just like, who, why? I'm done.
Yeah, it was all of that like decision making shit. You know what I mean? Like it was heavy.
They invented that pretty much.
Yeah, like world changing decision making, and you know, you piss this guy off, you know, you won't be able to get him on your crew and shit like that. You know, that was the type of stuff that I loved. You know, and it started with that Knights of the Old Republic, and how that game played, and I was just like, man, I was blown away. Like BioWare is like a solid ass like RPG freaking studio, but it's just because they're dragging these fucking titles along, you know what I mean? And they're not coming up with like some really new fresh ideas. And it's just kind of like, it's a little disappointment.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know, hopefully they fix that, you know, change that and, you know, evolve, but it'll be a few years, you know, because this shit's coming out. So it'll be a while before they create a new game.
This is their last chance, man. This is it.
You know, some things, you know, some of these places could come back from the dead. If anything, they'll just get bought out. Yeah, they'll just get bought out by Xbox or something, and then
they have some cool IP, right? That maybe someone else can take and freshen up, but that'll be done.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, you know, that was it. You know, thank you, Arachnid. Anybody else who checks on this video, clicks on it for us. If you're here, hit the like button, and click subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, until next week, we'll catch you guys later. Deuces.
Peace.
See you.